After studying this chapter, you will be able to explain how social influence can come from marketing or non-marketing sources, including opinion leaders, and can be delivered personally or by mass or social media. Highlight the types and characteristics of reference groups and show how each can affect consumer behavior. Discuss how marketers apply normative influence to affect consumer behavior, and distinguish between informational and normative influence, and describe why and how word of mouth can be both pervasive and persuasive.
The information that individuals or groups provide as social influences can have a big impact on consumers. Social influence refers to the information by and implicit or explicit pressures from individuals, groups, and the mass media that affects how a person behaves. The best example for this are the people who were famous, such as athletes, politicians, or movie stars, who can influence because of their power or expertise that makes others follow what they believe to or say. May mga companies talaga na kinukuha yung serbisyo ng mga sikat na personalidad just to gain more consumers and to attract the attentions of their potential buyers. There are also sources of influence wherein many people learn about certain products through advertising, such as in Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, email, publicity, samples and coupons, personal experience, other people, and other sources. Influence can also come from marketing and non-marketing sources. Marketing sources deliver influence through the mass media that includes advertising, sales promotions, publicity, special events, and social media posts from companies. Marketing sources can also deliver via mass media or personally.
Salespeople, service representatives, and customer service agents are marketing sources of influence who can deliver information personally in retail outlets, at customers' homes or offices, over the phones, or via email or online chat. Non-marketing sources refers to the influence delivered from an entity outside the marketing organization. It can also wield influence via mass media or delivered messages. In non-marketing sources that is delivered via mass media, consumer behavior may be affected by news about the new products, movies, and restaurants. It might be about the product contamination, accidents that involves the products, and incidences about the abuse or misuse of the product that makes it appear negatively to the consumers. Some may be influenced by information and opinions obtained through a virtual community. The influence sources differ in terms of their reach, capacity for two-way communication, and credibility. In reach, mass media sources are important. An example for this is a 30-second TV commercial during the FIFA World Cup that can reach tens of millions of viewers in United States, Europe, and around the world. Through the use of internet, cell phones, and other technologies, we can also spread marketing messages, product news, information about the behavior of public figures, and TV programs to an increasingly large audience, and expanding marketers' reach dramatically. In capacity for two-way communication, personally delivered sources of influence are more valuable. An example for this is a salesperson who can affect the consumer's decision more than the advertisement. It is because the salesperson can tailor sales information to fit the buyer's information needs and wants. While personal and mass media sources differ in their reach and capacity for two-way communication, marketing and non-marketing sources differ in their credibility. Consumers tend to perceive information delivered through marketing sources as being less credible, more biased, and manipulative. In contrast, non-marketing sources appear more credible because we do not believe that they have a personal stake in our purchase, consumption, or disposition decisions. Non-marketing sources of influence like consumer reports can have a powerful impact on consumers' purchase decisions because they are regarded as highly credible. A special source of social influence is the opinion leader. Opinion leader is an individual who acts as an information broker between the mass media and the opinions and behaviors of an individual or group. The common opinion leader are the celebrities. But not all opinion leaders are well-known people. They may be friends and acquaintances or professionals like doctors, dentists, or lawyers who advise patients and clients. But not all opinion leaders are well-known people. They may be friends and acquaintances or professionals like doctors, dentists, or lawyers who advise patients and clients. Opinion leaders are part of general category of gatekeepers, people who have special influence or power in deciding whether a product or information will be disseminated to a market. Gatekeeper is a source that controls the flow of information. However, simply because opinion leaders serve as information brokers does not mean that information only flows from opinion leaders to consumers. Indeed, opinion leaders often get information by seeking it from consumers, manufacturers, and retailers. Whereas opinion leaders are important source of influence about a particular product or service category. Researchers have also identified another special source of influence, a market maven. A market maven is a consumer on whom others rely on for information about the marketplace in general. A market maven seems to know all about the best products, the good sales, and the best stores or retail websites. Marketing implications. There are several tactics that marketers use to influence opinion leaders. It is to target opinion leaders, to use opinion leaders in marketing communications, and refer consumers to opinion leaders. An example for targeting opinion leaders is when clothing brands target popular fashion bloggers by giving them the sample of their new products before placing their advertisement, since bloggers are particularly influential opinion leaders. The goal is to encourage positive, personal reviews and thereby influence the attitudes and buying behavior of consumers who follow these bloggers. An example for the use of opinion leaders in marketing communication is when marketers use simulated opinion leaders, such as a dentist's wife endorsing a toothpaste brand because her affiliation with a dental professional presumably adds credibility. Refer consumers to opinion leaders. An example here is when pharmaceutical manufacturers suggest their consumers to consult their doctors about how a particular advertised product can help them. Marketing implications. The influence of various reference groups has some important implications for marketers. To associate products with aspirational reference groups. Knowing their target consumers' aspirational reference group enables marketers to associate their product with that group and to use spokespeople who represent it. And because celebrities are an aspirational reference group for some, many organizations and companies use celebrities to endorse their products and communicate with their target audience. To accurately represent associative reference group. Marketers can also identify and appropriately represent target consumers in ads by accurately reflecting the clothing, hairstyles, accessories, and general demeanor of their associative reference group. Helps to develop brand communities. Many brands now create the framework for communities on Facebook or on dedicated websites. These brand communities bring together like-minded consumers, reinforce brand loyalty, encourage positive attitudes toward the brand and its products, and disseminate information about the brand. To avoid using dissociative reference groups, when appropriate, companies should not use dissociative reference groups in their marketing. Some marketers drop celebrity spokespeople who commit crimes or exhibit other behavior that is offensive to the target market. Characteristics of reference groups. Reference groups can be described according to the degree of contact, formality, similarity among members, group attractiveness, density,
degree of identification, and strength of the ties connecting members. Reference groups that vary in their degree of contact is a group with which we have considerable contact tend to exert the greatest influence. A group with which we have face-to-face interaction, such as family, peers, and professors, which are the primary reference group. In contrast, a secondary reference group is the one that may influence us even though we have no personal contact with most of its members. Reference groups also vary in formality. Groups like fraternities, athletic teams, clubs, and classes are formally structured, with rules outlining the criteria for group membership and the expected behavior of members. Homophily, or the similarity among group members. When groups are homophilous, reference group influence is likely to be strong because similar people tend to see things in the same way, interact frequently, and develop strong social ties. Group attractiveness. The attractiveness of a particular peer group can affect how much consumers conform to the group. When members perceive a group as being very attractive, they have stronger intentions to conform to what the group does, even its illicit consumption behavior. Density. Dense groups are those in which group members all know one another. Degree of identification. Some characteristics of an individual within a group contribute to the ways in which groups vary. One is the degree of identification that a consumer has with a group. Just because people are members of a group does not mean that they use it as a reference group. The influence that a group has on an individual's behavior is affected by the extent to which he or she identifies with it. Another characteristic describing individuals within a group is tie strength. It is the extent to which a close, intimate relationship connects people. A strong tie means that two people are connected by a close, intimate relationship often characterized by frequent interpersonal contact. A weak tie means that the people have a more distant relationship with limited interpersonal contact. Marketing implications. Marketers pay close attention to the characteristics of reference groups because of their influence on targeting and communication. Understanding information transmission. Homophily, degree of contact, tie strength, and network density can significantly influence whether, how much, and how quickly information is transmitted within a group. Formal reference groups as potential targets. Formal reference groups can provide marketers with clear targets for marketing efforts. Homophilous consumers as targets. Marketers may use the concept of homophily to market their products. Targeting the network. Sometimes, it makes sense for marketers to target the network itself. Research shows that within social networks, 1/5 of a user's friends actually influence that user's activity level on the site. As a result, marketers need to study the interactions among social media users when planning to target the network. Understanding the strength of weak ties. Although weak ties may seem to have little potential for marketers, the opposite is true. Because weak ties often serve as bridges connecting groups, they can play a powerful role in propagating information across networks. Reference groups affect consumer socialization. One way that reference groups influence consumer behavior is through socialization, the process by which individuals acquire the skills, knowledge, values, and attitudes that are relevant for functioning in a given domain. Consumer socialization is the process by which we learn to become consumers and come to know the value of money, the appropriateness of saving versus spending, and how, when, and where products should be bought and used. Consumer socialization can occur in many ways. People as socializing agents. Reference groups like family and friends play an important role as socializing agents. Intergenerational influence.
Information, beliefs, and resources being transmitted from one generation to the next affects consumers' acquisition and use of certain product categories and preferred brands. Example is when parents instill values of thriftiness by directly teaching their children the importance of saving money, letting the children observe them being thrifty, and rewarding children for being thrifty. The second one is the media and the marketplace as socializing agents. TV programs, movies and videos, music, video games, the internet, and ads can also serve as socializing agents. For example, in ads, boys are sometimes depicted as more knowledgeable, aggressive, active, and instrumental to actions than girls are. These sex role stereotypes can affect children's conceptions of what it is like to be a boy rather than a girl. Normative influence. Normative influence is social pressure designed to encourage conformity to the expectations of others. The term normative influence derives from norms, society's collective decisions about what behavior should be. For example, we have norms for which brands, stores, and styles are in, as well as norms that discourage stealing and impulse buying. Morals also exert normative influence about what is right and wrong, and they can strongly influence attitudes, as they do in people's view of cigarette smoking, for example. Normative influence implies that consumers will be sanctioned, punished, or ridiculed if they do not follow the norms, just as it also implies that they will be rewarded for performing the expected behaviors. How normative influence can affect consumer behavior. Normative influence can have several important effects on consumption behaviors. The brand choice congruence and conformity. Normative influence affects brand choice congruence, or the purchase of the same brand as members of a group. Normative influence can also affect conformity, or the tendency to behave in an expected way. Conformity and brand choice congruence may be related. For instance, you might conform by buying the same brands as others in your group do, although brand choice congruence is not the only way for you to conform. One study found that the norms established by social and brand relationships can influence consumer behavior as well. The compliance versus reactance. Compliance means doing what the group or social influencer asks. You are complying if, when asked, you fill out a marketing research questionnaire or purchase the products sold at a home party. When we believe our freedom to choose is being threatened, a boomerang effect occurs and we engage in reactance, or doing the opposite of what the individual or group wants us to do. The social relational theory. According to social relational theory, consumers conduct their social interactions according to the rights and responsibilities of their relationship with group members, a balance of reciprocal actions with group members, their relative status and authority, and the value placed on different objects and activities. For instance, consumers may regard as taboo transactions in which they are asked to pay for something held to have morally significant value, such as love, friends, family, or even votes in an election. Taboos based on cultural or historical elements may also apply to buying and selling transactions. What affects normative influence strength? The strength of normative influence depends on the characteristics of the product, the consumer, and the group to which the consumer belongs. Product characteristics. Reference groups can influence two types of decisions. The first one is whether we buy a product within a given category, and the second is what brand we buy. There are also predictions about when reference groups will affect these decisions. One prediction is that because we must buy necessity items, reference groups are likely to have little influence on whether we buy such products. A second prediction is that products consumed in public, such as the cars we drive, give others the opportunity to observe which brand we have purchased. Consumer characteristics. The personalities of some consumers make them readily susceptible to influence by others. Several researchers have developed the scale of susceptibility to interpersonal influence. Consumers who are susceptible to interpersonal influence try to enhance their self-image by acquiring products that they think others will approve of. In addition, a personality characteristic called attention to social comparison information, or ATSCI, is related to normative influence. People who are high on this personality trait pay close attention to what others do and use this information to guide their own behavior. Group characteristics. Finally, the characteristics of the group can impact the degree of normative influence. One characteristic is the extent to which the group can deliver rewards and sanctions, known as the degree of reward power or coercive power. Group cohesiveness and group similarity also affect the degree of normative influence. Cohesive groups and groups with similar members may communicate and interact on a regular basis. Normative influence tends to be greater when groups are large and when group members are experts. Finally, consumers from cultures where collectivism is strong, such as China, are more sensitive to how differences in pricing affect those in their group compared with consumers from cultures where individualism is strong, such as the United States. Marketing implications. Marketers can take a variety of actions based on normative influences and the factors that affect their strength. Demonstrate rewards and sanctions for product used or non-used. Marketers may be able to create normative influence by using advertising to demonstrate rewards or sanctions that can follow from product use or non-use. Create norms for group behavior. Marketing organizations may create groups with norms to guide consumers' behavior. Because influence is greater when consumption is public, another strategy is to make a private behavior public, either in person or online via apps, communities, or websites. Stimulate referrals through normative influence. Companies can use normative influence to encourage referrals from current customers. Although referral programs can pay off in the form of higher sales and profits, marketers need to target and test carefully because not all customers are equally profitable or loyal. Create conformity pressures. Marketers may also attempt to create conformity. They may simulate conformity by showing actors in an ad behaving similarly with respect to a product, as some anti-smoking campaigns do by portraying teens who do not smoke. Conformity may also be enhanced by publicizing others' conformity. Use compliance techniques. With the foot in the door technique, or a technique designed to induce compliance by getting an individual to agree first to a small favor, then to a larger one, and then to an even larger one. With the door in the face technique, or a technique designed to induce compliance by first asking the individual to comply with a very large and possibly outrageous request, followed by smaller and more reasonable requests. A third approach is the even a penny will help technique, a technique designed to induce compliance by asking individuals to do a very small favor, one that is so small that it almost does not qualify as a favor. Ask consumers to predict their behavior. Simply asking consumers to predict their own behavior in taking a certain action often increases the likelihood that they will actually behave in that way. Provide freedom of choice. Because reactance usually occurs when people feel that their freedom is being threatened, marketers need to ensure that consumers believe that they have freedom of choice. Use expert service providers who are similar to target customers. Some research shows that consumers are more likely to comply with what a service provider asks when the provider and customer have similar attitudes and when the expert clarifies the customer's role. Informational influence. It is the extent to which resources influence consumers simply by providing information. Informational influence can affect how much time and effort consumers devote to information search and decision making. Factors affecting informational influence strength. The extent to which informational influence is strong or weak depends on the characteristics of the product, of the consumer, and the influencer, and of the group. Product characteristics. Consumers tend to be susceptible to informational influence when considering complex products such as electronic appliances that consumers cannot easily understand how to use. They are also more susceptible to informational influence when they perceive product purchase or usage to be risky. Consumer and influencer characteristics. Characteristics of both the consumer and the influencer affect the extent of informational influence. Such influence is likely to be greater when the source or group communicating the information is an expert. Like normative influence, informational influence is affected by tie strength. Individuals with strong ties tend to interact frequently, a situation that provides greater opportunities for consumers to learn about products and others' reactions to them. Group characteristics. Group cohesiveness also affects informational influence. Specifically, members of cohesive groups have both greater opportunity and perhaps greater motivation to share information. Marketing implications. Marketers can apply informational influence in several ways. Create informational influence by using experts. Because source expertise and credibility affect informational influence, marketers can use sources regarded as expert or credible for the product category. Create a context for informational influence. Marketers should try to create a context for informational influence to occur. One way to do this is by hosting or sponsoring special product-related events where people can talk to one another about the company's products. In addition, inviting consumers to rate products on the marketers' websites provides a forum for online discussion and stimulates word of mouth, especially where ratings vary, which in turn contributes to higher product sales. Create informational and normative influence. Marketing efforts may be most successful when both normative and informational influences are involved. Also, because source similarity enhances both normative and informational influence, advertisers might enhance influence by using sources that are similar to their target audience. This strategy acts as an informational normative influence and encourages consumers to join the crowd and purchase the item to avoid being left out. Descriptive dimensions of information. In the context of consumer behavior, information can be described by the dimensions of valence and modality. Valence is whether information about something is good or positive valence, or bad or negative valence. This distinction is very important because researchers have found that negative and positive information affect consumer behavior in different ways. Researchers hypothesize that people pay more attention to and give more weight to negative information than they do to positive information. Modality. Another dimension describing influence is the modality through which it is delivered. Although norms about group behavior might be explicitly communicated by verbal description, consumers can also infer norms through observation. For instance, a consumer may learn that a particular brand of can openers is bad either by observing someone struggling with it or by hearing people discuss their experiences with the product. The pervasive and persuasive influence of word of mouth. Marketers are especially interested in word of mouth, both online and offline, which can affect many consumer behaviors. A variety of factors can influence whether people seek word of mouth advice from others. Not only is word of mouth pervasive, but also more persuasive than written information. It is also extremely influential in purchases of printed and electronic books. Online word of mouth. Online forums, review sites, websites, and email magnify the effect of word of mouth because consumers can notify many people about their good or bad experiences with a few clicks of the mouse. They can explain what a new product is or how it works, evaluate it, endorse it, or personally embrace it. Customers' purchasing decisions are also influenced by observing what others do online after being exposed to the same online word of mouth. For example, consumers who use Amazon.com can read product reviews and then look at the items displayed under the banner what other items do customers buy after viewing this item. This combination is especially influential in the case of products with high word of mouth volume. Social media word of mouth. Social media such as Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook are truly social, disseminating word of mouth through public messages and through messages visible only to friends. Marketers who provide consumers with opportunities to comment via social media during product acquisition or consumption are, in effect, facilitating real-time word of mouth. Marketing implications. Word of mouth can have a dramatic effect on consumers' product perceptions and an offering's marketplace performance. Viral marketing refers to the rapid spread of brand or product information among a population of people stimulated by brands. Engineering favorable word of mouth. Marketers can try to engineer favorable word of mouth by targeting opinion leaders and using networking opportunities at trade shows, conferences, and public events. Engineering favorable word of mouth should be an ongoing effort across marketing activities. Preventing and responding to negative word of mouth. Marketers must act to prevent negative word of mouth, whether offline or online, and work to rectify it once it occurs. In the event of a major crisis, a firm must take immediate steps to address the issues, restore confidence, and begin rebuilding its reputation. Handling rumors and scandals. Rumors are a special case of negative word of mouth. Scandals can also touch off negative word of mouth, even affecting a company's competitors. Companies should be aware of what consumers are saying about their brands and products offline, online, and in social media, and be ready to deal with rumors and scandals. Do nothing. Often, companies prefer to do nothing because more consumers may actually learn about a rumor from marketers' attempts to correct it. However, this strategy can also backfire. For example, after Nike was accused of condoning low wages and abusive conditions in its Asian factories, its image suffered when it did not respond vigorously to the attacks. Do something locally. Some companies react locally, putting the rumor to rest on a case-by-case basis. For example, the firm might send a detailed explanation to people who write or call about a particular rumor. Do something discreetly. Companies may want to respond discreetly to a rumor. For example, when rumors circulate that oil companies were contriving oil shortages out of grid, the firms run a public relations campaign highlighting their socially desirable activities. Do something big. At times, companies may respond with all the media resources at their disposal. Tracking word of mouth. Whether word of mouth is positive or negative, companies may want to try to identify the source. Marketers can find out where consumers heard the information and then ask all of those sources where, in turn, they heard the story. Marketers can also ask consumers about the specific details that they heard from particular sources to identify who is distorting information and who is perpetuating the distortions.